What is up YouTube, it's Kingfisher745, and in this video I figured we'd take a look at Daimon Hellstrom, who of course is going to be the next worthy. We're going to be teaming him up with none other than his fellow hammer wielders, minus Skirn. And it's not that I don't like her, she's great, but I just like Kurth, Null, and Nurkot a little bit more for this video. The main thing though that I kind of want to illustrate about Daimon is he's already a pretty good character. In the past, the worthy, minus let's say Mockingbird, were absolutely terrible. And don't get me wrong, they did remake them. But Spider-Woman, She-Hulk, and Luke Cage were absolutely dreadful for a very long time. They were sort of like the jokes of the Marvel Avengers Alliance community. So them getting a worthy costume completely changed everything. They became some of the most powerful characters in the game. Maybe even more impressive is the fact that they've remained powerful. And this feat could only be rivaled by someone like Quicksilver or Emma Frost. Heroic Age Iron Fist had a very long run as well. But despite even some nerfs, Null and Kurth are still two of the best. And Nurkot's a very powerful overlooked character. As far as Daimon getting a worthy ult though, he's already viable in PvP, certainly on offense. First off, with the cooperative AISO, his summon attack is going to be a quick action. And so we'll use primed and ready first, then we can get a mind control as a subtle quick action. And did I mention it's an AoE, so everyone's getting that debuff. After that, we can use his purifying flames to heal Null. Plus it's going to give him thorns because of the thorny AISO. And just to let you know, not only did that do a heal on Null, it removes and prevents debuffs. So let's go ahead and take a look at that purifying flames. Restores health each turn, removes and prevents debuffs for 2 rounds. Pretty sick, I have to admit, and that's hard to come by these days. Now what you may not see a lot in this fight, or the remaining 2, is that he does have solid passives and a strong EISO. His first passive is Dark Soul. It reduces damage taken from damage over time effects, while Burning is applied, counters attacks with fire damage, and he gets Burning from using his level 1. Now while Dark Void is applied, attacks restore health. He gets that from Cloaked in Shadows. The only thing is if you're preventing debuffs like the Lantern of Doom or the Mystic, then it is going to stop him from gaining that during the first round. But it's an okay trade-off. As far as his EISO, it's found in Season 2, Chapter 6, Mission 4. And it says the first attack that would reduce Daimon Hellstrom's health to 0 will return him to 50% health instead. So he has a Resurrect. Pretty awesome. Now just to talk a bit about Skittering Darkness and Cloaked in Shadows in general. First of all, you can put Gracious on it and get some stamina back for your entire team. But what's really awesome is it gives you a high chance to avoid attacks, and makes your team's attacks stealthy. If you have stealthy attacks, you're going to be able to avoid a lot of different things. Think about those preemptive counters. Also, you can get around protectors. It's just an awesome thing to have, and he applies it to your entire team. So what we're saying is, all in all, he's a character that can do solid damage. He has a quick action summon because of the AISO. He has a heal with prevent debuffs. Another great buff that makes all your attacks stealthy. I mean, what more could you want from one character? Certainly his worthy version's going to be much different, but they're starting with something much better than they had before. For the most part. And that has me very excited for his ult. The only question is, when will Chapter 10 come out? And I honestly have no idea. Some of you may remember I used to be half decent at predicting these things. Then somewhere along the line, it went very wrong. It started where I would predict something, let's say on a Tuesday, and then they would put it out on Friday. Then it became, well, if King said this week, we better make it next week. I don't think they actually did that, but my predictions started getting further and further from reality, so I give up on it. It might come out this week, it might come out in March. I have no idea. All I can say is when it does, we're going to cover the entire thing from start to finish. By that I mean our first look, all the heroics, Then maybe we'll take a look at score challenges or epic bosses, whatever you want to see. And of course, Daimon Hellstrom's worthy ult. What you're seeing here is we already have him at level 15. And like I said, he's quite viable. But the most thrilling part about it is, once we get his alternate costume, he's already ready to go. That's another great thing about getting those ults. You don't have to worry about leveling them. And since they're so different, it's like you just got another character with completely unique abilities, and he's already leveled up. At least to what your character was before that. If you have Daimon and you haven't leveled him, I do suggest you do that now. But back to the matches themselves. In this one, we're facing Phoenix, and we're going to see another side of Daimon that just makes him extra useful. First of all, though, we do have to get her within knockout range, and we're going to bypass these protectors by using our Cloaked in Shadows. Because of our attacks being stealthy, we're just going to continue attacking her, and we'll get her within knockout range. On our agent's turn, I'm going to use the Alluring Light, then our Dark Energy Blade, and hopefully we get a follow-up as well. Right now she is below 50%, so it shouldn't take too much more damage. We got the second attack, and now she's down to 7,000 health. Alright, well, Blink Boots are not a sight we wanted to see. From this point on, I pretty much can tell you we're never going to hit that agent again. I don't have that item, I don't see it very much, but what I do know is they're going to become intangible. So we're going to basically rely on our debuffs or dots to take him down. Easier said than done though. For now though, we're concentrating on that Phoenix, and she's definitely near death. So what we're going to use is La Petite Mort, and it's going to cause poisoned and most importantly despair. That removes and prevents resurrection effects, and we use that as a quick action. After that, we're going to use his level 1 on Colossus, and that'll at least give him Burning. Daimon, that is. We want to put Burning and Dark Void on him. Remember, Daimon actually benefits from those dots. Unfortunately, he is going to absorb our energy, and we miss the attack. The cool thing though is Phoenix goes down because she cannot resurrect, so there's no Phoenix Fire, and we don't have to worry about her anymore. Now their agent is going to take some dot damage, and then he's affected by Cower. And with Kurth, we should have just hit Colossus regardless of absorb energy, but instead, we just take out some frustration on their agent, who of course is intangible. He's going to be intangible for seemingly forever. This is why I really hate Blink Boots and always have. As far as Colossus, he's going to take absorb energy, and then with our agent, we'll have to recharge on our next turn. That's a good thing though, because he's going to go again right after Daimon, and we'll be able to use our Atom Smasher. With Daimon, we'll also use Cloaked in Shadows, and that'll give us a bit of energy back. So with this attack, we won't be hitting their agent, but we should be able to debuff him, and then we'll at least finish off their tank. So after this, it's going to be 1-on-3. Unfortunately, their agent's going to take quite some time to finish off. It's more of an annoyance factor though, it's not like it's a threat. But he has momentary advantage, Jade Prism, of course the Blink Boots, apparently a flashing eye even. I don't know if you can get more annoying. And then of course he refreshes his Blink Boots. So yeah, he's not going to do any damage whatsoever. But we can't hit him. At least we'll try to trigger that flashing eye. And then there's one summon that you haven't seen, and that's going to be the Beast with Two Backs. This is a pretty awesome AoE attack. Not going to work that great on Agent Johnny, but it still does do some damage. And with his dots, he's almost knocked out. However, with his turn from getting hit by a blaster, he uses the Light Fantastic, the absolute last thing we wanted. And since I really wanted a different type of knockout, I'm just going to use Inevitable Doom, then we're going to have to recharge on my agent's turn. Honestly, we should have just used the Blackest Void and tried to end this, but sometimes I'm stubborn. Right away I realized we just need to end this guy because, like I said, it's a very annoying setup, and it's not like he's even going to do any damage to us. So after a few more wasted turns, we're going to go with our Improbability Field from our agent, and with any luck, that should do it. then the last match is going to be much more exciting. I can pretty much guarantee that no matter who we face. The other cool thing is we're going to be using Nurkod, who I absolutely love and haven't used in quite some time. So it looks like we're going to be taking on Thor and Beta Ray Bill, who can definitely dish out a lot of damage. Hopefully they don't kill us, but if they did, I guess that would make for a pretty exciting fight, that's for sure. But to be honest with you, I didn't lose a single match with Daimon and any of the worthy, so they're definitely all solid teams. Now since the enemy agent has the Mighty Shroud along with Thor, we're going to use the Blackest Void and just remove that. They try to mind control us, but we're mindless. That's why ever since the Dark Energy Blade came out, I've been using the Techno-Organic Endoskeleton, and I notice a lot of other people are now as well. It's a really good answer for that mind control. I just wish Winter Soldier could equip it. But oh well. On Nurkod's turn, we're going to go ahead and attack apparently the enemy agent. Then after that we're going to use Call the Seas, followed by a Crashing Fury. And right away this is going to take the enemy agent down to 7,700 HP. So they're on their way out, that's what they get for protecting. If you're going to protect, I say do it as a bruiser with the Elite EISO. Now my agent's going to protect, and he's almost knocked out. But hey, that was a blaster Thor, and that hammer throw is insane. The good news is we remained alive, and so after we use our quick action summon, we're going to use our level 9 and heal our agent, plus prevent those debuffs. Okay, so we made it through our first scare, and luckily because the enemy agent did a pretty nice hit with that blade, I mean luckily we healed. Then with this turn, we're going to go ahead and use our Smothering Shadow. After that we'll also use a Light Fantastic. They once again try to stop our Smothering Shadow, but that's not going to work. So after heavily debuffing the opponents, we're going to heal and give us a little bit of a cushion with that Mirror Reality. They still have Beta Ray and his big attack coming, so we're going to need that. He takes a little bit of damage, and he's actually going to use his big attack on his own agent, knocking her out. That looked like a mind control proc to me, so we're going to go ahead and give the credit to Daimon Hellstrom. Next up is Nurkod, and we'll start with the Breaching Strike. Then I'm going to use her level 9, which almost finishes Thor. Luckily his dots do take him down. So with only Beta Ray remaining, we're going to start by using our level 1. It also gets a collateral damage proc, and then we are saved by that Mirror Reality. Don't get me wrong, he might not have killed us, but I'd rather be healed than hurt. So we'll go ahead and heal some more with the Alluring Light. Then after that, we'll use Improbability Field. And Beta Ray should be very injured after this. He's going to have a number of dots on him, and it's all going to tick off right now. Yep, all the way down to 3,000 HP. So on what should be his final attack, he's going to use Primed and Ready and another Thunderstruck. This one does very little damage. With Nurkod, we're going for the knockout blow from the Crashing Fury, but he actually remains alive. So we'll use our La Petite Mort, and that's going to be the end of Beta Ray. Now that is going to be the end of this one, but I want you all to let me know what you think about the next worthy in the comment section below. Also, when do you think Chapter 10's coming out? I'd like to hear your opinions, and we'll see who ends up being right. Also, if you don't mind, please check out my comics cover collection video, and that's going to be on the screen right now. It's basically talking about the Lockbox character comic cover collections in real life, and how I plan to share that with you all. As for this one, that's going to be it, but I thank you all for watching. I want to ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe. Then until next time, good luck, and take care.